We've seen a lot of football this morning already. It's been fairly blustery, hasn't it, around the traps?
Yes, well, I think at Baker's Oval, I think up one end there'll be a lot of goals kicked there today because we've seen the kids, the under-18 kids, kicking the ball
there in the forward line, and I think that's going to be the difference. It's going to obviously put the Werribee backmen under a bit more pressure than they were under last week.
Oh my God! Somebody's just walking in front of the camera. There's a big white blob. I don't know what it was.
The MCG side screen.
The MCG side screen. And on my right is a person that has been with us for the last few weeks and obviously enjoying himself and still looking at the interleague boys that are running around the traps. David Primer, good afternoon to you as well.
Good afternoon, Jason and Paul.
We got the rain last week. We got the wind this week, so we're doing well at the moment.
Yeah, well the wind's blowing. It's a southwesterly. And it's probably around. I've not been over the top, but I'd say it's around 40-45 knots, which is very, very blustery. It's not very often we get wind of that great. Kilometres an hour, I suppose you'd call it.
Velocity.
Velocity is the word probably looking for, but yeah, it did very well.
Well, 1v2. It should be a great game of footy this afternoon. Anakie defeated Bannockburn last week, and Werribee Centrals we saw on guest video defeat Bellpost Hill, so it should be a great game. And well, you've been training with the boys and things like that. How are they going? And they've got a new coaching staff out here, Craig Hoffman. All right, well, he's not really been training, but he's been out here. Craig Hoffman, Judge Joseph take over, and the boys are doing nice at the moment.
Yeah, Hoffy's brought a breath of fresh air into the club with his coaching methods, and the boys have responded to it. With the fellas he brought over from Lara too, have just put the icing on the cake. Last week, I seen them last week against Bannockburn. They played very good football. They closed the game down when they had to, and they'll be looking to do the same today. He's freshened them up this week. They just went for a light run on Tuesday night, and they come back and watched the video, the Year of the Dog, and had a bit of a meeting. And Thursday night was just a quick skill night, so he's freshened them up after last week's slog. So hopefully they'll be on the ball today.
And Gus, we saw Werribee last week. They looked a fairly good running side, and obviously worked off the back of very good ruckman in Sean Stewart.
Yeah, well, they did actually play pretty well last week, although the Bellpost Hill was probably undermanned. They probably had 5 out of their best 8 or 9 players out of the side. I thought they run the ball well off half-back last week, and Stewart did give them first option of the ball, especially around the ground from the ruck throw-ins. I noticed they've come onto the ground late, late compared to Anakie. I don't know whether that's a good idea on an away ground when the wind's blowing like this, and there'll be a lot of strangers to the Anakie ground in the Werribee side, and they probably could have been on a little bit early and had a feel for the ball. They've hardly had a kick, and the game's just about ready to start.
Well, they were at the back having a kick on the oval behind the grandstand here, so they've obviously got a little bit used to the wind. But you were saying before the game, Bull, that it's going to be fairly rough out there on the oval today, on the park.
Yeah, it looks all right from our vantage point here, but once you get out there, it's very rough round place, especially across the other side of the ground. They seem to think with the gum trees over there, they sap all the water up, and it's very hard over there, and a few cracks appearing over there. You might say, go over and give it the keys test. I think you'll lose your keys. So it's very hard over that side of the ground, so you see the ball bouncing very high over there, and it's just overall rough over the surface because they've got no council to look after it out here. They just come out and mow the lawns, and that's about it.
Oh, right. So the Golden Plain Shire, whoever they're in, don't look after the ground.
No, well, I don't. I think they still come under the city of Greater.
Do they? Oh, right, okay.
I think because Stumpy McDonald picks the garbage out here on Friday morning, so I think they're still up under them.
Now you're going to go for Anakie this afternoon, Bull?
Yes, for sure.
Why? Why for sure?
Well, because of the way they played last week. I haven't seen Werribee at all this year, but all they've got to do is improve. They've been improving every week, and if they keep improving today, I think they'll get over Werribee today. And with it being at Anakie and the conditions, I think you've got your experience down there in front of goal with Daryl Bissett, and he'll know how the wind blows here. Play a lot of football here, so they get the ball to him plenty of times. I think you'll see him kick 5 or 6, and hopefully the Anakie side home at the end of the day.
Gus, who are you going to pick this afternoon?
Well, I'm going for Werribee, and basically the same point, exactly the same point actually, because last week Bellpost Hill were very undermanned, had no forwards at all. And I think we might see a different game today because, as Bull just mentioned, they've got a couple of experienced blokes down week, and they were just free running last week. So, I'd tip Anakie for that very reason, actually.
He started off by saying he's going to pick Werribee.
Oh, Anakie, sorry.
Yeah, you're going to pick Anakie.
Yeah, sorry.
You sure?
Yeah.
They're the ones running around in the red and blue.
Yeah. Someone help me out here.
Well, I think Anakie at home too just might get over the line in a very close game. I think the wind will probably bring both sides back a little bit to each other, I would think. But we see the big man in the middle, Sean Stewart, lining up for the Centurions. And he'll go up against Justin Tate.
Big job today, Tatey.
Yeah, big job. Stewart has been in great form. And from an interleague point of view, we're just praying that he doesn't get injured between now and June 6.
He's definitely the best big man in the league, I think, at this present stage, the best ruckman going around with his tap work and his workload that he puts in around the ground too. So hopefully the Tatey can nullify him today, and they've had Paul Gillett running tandem too with him in the ruck.
Well, just ready now for the start of the first term GDFL match of the day, round 7 between Anakie and Werribee Centrals. It's going to be Stewart for Werribee and Tate for Anakie. Now puts the ball up. Stewart gets it down, but straight to Hoffman though. He's going to be able to get the first kick away. Goes towards a vacant centre half forward position. And getting back there is Gray for Werribee, and also Roland Beck, who had a very good game last week against Bellpost. Still goes wide. It'll be pretty wide, I would think, out there. The wind taking it extremely wide. It hits the fence post, and it will be out of bounds on the full. Anakie to take the free kick at half forward.
That was that kicking I was just talking about when they run onto the ground. It's just a bit of a practice round kick, and it's a lot more open here than out the back, so it just proved there that that's probably got some merit with it.
Kick in short finds Gillett, it is, with the long sleeves on. Back in towards Pedretti, he goes up, can't take the mark the first attempt, but the second he does, and the umpire's paid the mark. And from 50, Mark Pedretti, who's been in fairly good form, goes towards Gillett again, and he has just filled the hole in the pocket there and taken the mark. So he'll be kicking for about 40. A bit more of an angle though. And a shot for Anakie's first goal this afternoon. Could kick off the boot, but I think he's just missed it to the far side and one behind. So the first score on the board. And Anakie lead one behind. To Werribee Central's yet to score.
Guys, you're going to have to move just a little bit for us, fellas. Right. Just so I can just see it in there. Thanks, guys.
Gus making sure all his fans are away.
Just worried about these 5-year-olds slapping me around, Jake.
Well, one of them's a Bissett, so you've got to be careful.
You can't tell that, can you?
No. Well, the kick in from fullback for Werribee. It looks like it might have been Hallam. And it was a hold, was it? It was, and it's going to be a Werribee free kick at half back. And it might be Valisha to take that. I think it will be. Warren Valisha, who played very well, wore number 47 last week. He's got the 55 jumper on today. On the outer side, half-back flank for the Centurions now. Stewart's on centre wing. And he wants some movement. There's not too much. He goes inboard. Oh, it's a good kick off the boot. Goes towards Stewart. Tate from behind. Stewart just tries to tap it on. He does so. Misara at the fall of the ball. Can go now on the left boot. Measure the pass towards full forward. Poor kick off the boot. Luddick runs behind Green, who looks like he has a job on him. Gets around on his left boot. Does he? Gets wrapped up. Loses the footy. And he gives good defence. And they kick it towards centre half back. Stewart's there for the Centurions. Can't pick it up the first or second attempt. He's got some support. Morley tried to get it onto Valisha. He can't pick it up. Edgar back in the side this week. He stands his ground. Then he gets wrapped up by Tate. Morefoot comes through as well. And it stacks on the mill. The umpire will have to come in and bounce the ball at half forward for the Centurions. Good play by the Roos defence.
Yeah, you've seen Shane Friday coming off his line there, just kicking the ball off the ground, taking the percentage of not picking it up, and travelled the ball 40 metres further into attack.
Stewart gets it down, quick hands, gets onto Kennedy, and now he can go with the left boot towards full forward, getting back there Friday, and he takes the mark. In front of Cunningham, plays on quickly, gives it to Green, who runs off his man through half-back, measures a pass towards centre wing. Joseph makes some ground for himself, and he'll be able to run onto it now, picks it up, left foot kick around the corner to Cummins, standing still, takes the mark. And Craig Cummins in the middle of Anakie reserve, goes long towards Pedretti, in front though, can't take the mark, free kick paid, and it's going to go to Roland Beck, who just filled in front of Pedretti then.
Interesting contest, a couple of blokes on the wing, young Dabrowski and Simon Calvert, both interleague trainers.
Yep, and the ball goes on to Mark now, goes wide, getting across there, and can he keep it in? I think he might be able to. Hoffman, handball back, it's all right, and they can set something up short to Gillett. He takes the mark at half forward. Pedretti gives him a lead. Kochevatkin's got the job on him, goes towards him now, getting back there, taking a good mark is Hallam. And Matthew Hallam, who also played fairly well last week for the Centurions, switches play, comes across to the commentary box side to Beck. His hands to Edgar, standing, gives it back to Beck, needs a Shepherd, running across centre half back, short little kick. Hawks, can he pick it up? He's got two against him, Gillett's one of them. And also working across there quickly was Hart. And it's close to the boundary line, will he be able to see it over? No, he can keep it in. Coming at him quickly there was Walters. And now Bissett, ripped off the footy, no free kick, turns to the umpire and says, why not? Handball Stewart to Edgar, and they can get out of trouble at half back through Mark, goes wide. and nearly hits the boundary umpire on the chest. Goes towards Luddick and Green. Luddick on hands and knees. Greens keeps his feet. Then he falls over, gets a push in the back, and we'll get a free kick. And Kevin Green.
Werribee both coming back through centre both times there, back through centre, back in the corridor. It can be a bit dangerous at times.
And it looks like Beck's just filling that hole in front of Pedretti at full forward too, because he's taken another mark in front of the full forward.
Well, Daryl Bess is standing by himself over in that far pocket then.
So Beck now goes back to whence it came, over the head of Dabrowski, and coming through Joseph, who's going to go with a kick, then hands. Paul to Hawks. He gets ripped off the footy though. Edgar's there. He gets ripped off. Good tackling by the Roos. Morley though got a chance. His handball is good. Gets it on towards Valisha. Got one high. Play on through centre half forward. Goes long towards Cunningham. And Friday from behind. Cunningham, can he take the mark? Is he paid? Yes, he is. And a good mark, Mick Cunningham.
He's got a good pair of hands. I've seen him in one of the early games in the year, and he took 3 or 4 real strong grabs on Scotty Cowie at West. And he's a bit taller than Scotty, but he has got a good pair of hands.
So Cunningham from about 40 metres out, not much of an angle. And he'll have a chance to put Werribee Central's first goal on the board. In fact, the first major of this afternoon. We've been playing 4.5 minutes in this first term. Cunningham. Only a couple of steps. Good kick off the boot though.
Yep.
And he's put it through the middle.
He subs that pretty well. He's aimed at the left pocket. We can actually see the ball moving through the air, pushing back right with the wind as it's going through the goal. So it's a pretty good kick, that.
So it's 1 straight goal, 6 points. Werribee Central's Anakie 1 behind. Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. 5 minutes gone in this first term. And a good goal by Mick Cunningham. What do you think their plan is, Ball, with that coming through centre half back? They're obviously not going to use the wings today, the Centurions. Look like they're coming through the middle of the ground.
Yeah, I think they've been instructed to play through the corridor the way they come through then. And Cunningham put himself in front there. And as you know, being a forward, if you present yourself out in front, you got probably a 70-30 chance of marking. And he was equal to the task, taking a good strong mark in front.
Back to the centre now. Tate once again to go against Stewart. Umpire throws the ball up. Tate early. Stewart gets it down. Hawks roves. Loses the ball and then gets it back. But he's wrapped up by Morefoot, and it will be a secondary bounce in the middle of Anakie reserve. The umpire throws it up again. Tate early gets it down on this occasion. Morley can't trap it. Kelbert's there in support. Stacks on the mill once again, and the umpire will do it all over. For another ball up, just on the attacking side of the centre square for Anakie. Big pack around the ball. Tate and Stewart. Tate goes up early again and gets it down, does well. Gets it towards Green, partly smothered his kick, goes to Cummins, goes wide towards Gavin. Hand there by Beck and keeps it in front of him, close to the boundary line. Then he overruns it. Gavin's right next to him, close to the boundary. Kochevatkin can keep it in and run away. Oh, Edgar's going to be under pressure from Dabrowski. He stands his ground, coming in Cummins as well. They've done well to bowl it up there at half forward. The Roos, and it will be a ball up. So the umpire to come in and ball it up. Pedretti to do the ruck work against Stewart. Pedretti with both hands. Gets it to Morefoot, the outside of the right foot. Intelligent kick towards full forward. Bissett stands his ground, walks in.
That's what they want.
And a big heaper puts it through for a goal.
If they can get it down to Darryl in that situation on a one-on-one competition, there's not many players around the league that will go with him 1-for-1 because he's so good with his body and judging the flight of the ball. And as you've seen then, he put himself behind, just kept the fella out in front and ran into an open goal.
So Anakie's first goal on the board, they're 1-1-7 and they lead Werribee Central's 1 straight goal, 6 points. Now the story with the heap is that he goes in on Friday to hospital. Is that right, Bull?
Yes, for an arthroscope operation. He said he was there yesterday and he was the surgeon was talking all these lingo and he said, well, it all adds up that I've just got a crook knee and they're going to have a look at it. So
Not mucking around with the heap.
That's a pretty good conclusion, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, years ago, you had a crook shoulder. You didn't have a crook AC joint and these sort of things have just only come out now.
I remember I dislocated my hip in '82, and one of the blokes I was playing footy with, he had a cartilage operation, which is now you're only out for a couple of weeks. He was in hospital for 10 days then.
Yeah.
He just had a cartilage operation. So
You're out the same day now.
yeah, there was 3 of us in there. I was in for 6 weeks. He had 10 days, and the other one had 10 days. Yeah, all in the same ward.
Well, it's a secondary bounce in the middle. Big pack around the ball once again. Stewart goes up. Tate, they both get a hand to it. Morefoot pushed off the footy. Quick kick out of the pack by Valisha. Stewart again. Kennedy threw off his wing, goes with the outside of the left boot, intelligent kick towards full forward. Friday, got a bit of time now with a couple of players falling over. Can he pick it up? Nobody talking to him there, I don't think, because he did have a bit more time than he probably thought. And Slavinkas and Friday see it over the boundary line for a throw in at in between forward pocket and half forward for the Centurions. Thrown in front Cunningham, goes to the side of the pack, running at it Edgar. Can he get around a couple? Dabrowski tackles him, he loses the footy. Kennedy trying the quick kick off the ground, close to the boundary line again. And Musara keeps it in and then gets it back, does he? He's on hands and knees, Moorefoot's in there. Moore just taps it to the advantage of Dabrowski. Gets it over the top. Calbert, who had a good game last week against the Hill as well. Left foot kick around the corner is all right. In there, can he second grab, take the mark? Yes, he can. That looks like it might be Slavinkas, who could kick a footy.
Yeah, well, come on last week after, well, I think halfway through the third quarter, would I be right in saying that?
Yep.
Showed plenty of pace and kicked one goal there, probably 60 metres on the run, so he shouldn't have any trouble with the distance. It's probably going to be a hard kick from him. He's got the wind sort of blowing across the face of him, so it's going to be hard to put it through from there.
So I played 9.5 minutes in this first term. Slavinkas, pretty good kick off the boot, but he may have just missed it to the far side. He has, and one behind.
Interesting with the ruckman there. Sean Stewart staying back with Tatey there. Last week, Sean moved into the forward line a bit more. Now they've got the big bloke at full forward there doing the ruck work. So he's staying a kick behind the play.
So it's 1-2-8. In fact, it's 1-1 apiece. As the kick goes out to half back for the Roos, and it's bottled up, the umpire will come in and bounce the ball. So it's 1-1 apiece, Anakie and Werribee. It's on half back on the outer side. The Centurions in attack. Stewart. Tate goes up early again. Stewart gets the big knock down to the advantage of Hawks. Little left foot kick might be alright if Masara can run through. He kept it in front just with a little paddle and then paddles it forward even further. He's got Valisha in support. Goes quickly and one behind to Valisha. So Werribee are 1-2-8 and Anakie are 1-1-7. So the kick in to be done by Jolly. Goes short into the back pocket and danger. Looking for Hoffman. Couldn't quite find him with the kick, so it's out of bounds. In the right forward pocket for Werribee Centrals. And they're 1-2-8. They lead Anakie 1-1-7. Ball up. Big pack around the footy. Hoffman through the middle, handball to nobody in particular. Dabrowski runs at it, can't pick it up, and he's got a couple against him. One of them was Valisha, got it back to Calbert, gets around onto that favoured right boot, goes long in towards full forward, getting back with the flight of it was Cunningham, and it's pushed through for a rush behind to Werribee. So they go to 1-3-9, and Anakie 1-1-7. Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. And the kick in by Jolly's a good one too. Finds Joseph on half back, unattended. Kennedy stands the mark. Joseph now goes towards Gillett. Oh, good mark too. Takes a good mark against Gray there.
He's got Johnson in the pocket there. Still got him.
And he goes in that direction now and finds him. Now Johnson, he can go shorter to Gavin and he takes the mark on the boundary line as well. Phil Gavin, who coaches the twos out here at Anakie. And they went down this afternoon to the top of the ladder, Werribee Central side. And he goes short now to Gillett, who just takes a finger tipper.
Good hands. And balance.
And balance. And he was not going to go short to Joseph, but now he's...
Good distance here, I think.
Yeah.
The wind behind him. Gale.
He had a good game last week, didn't he, Bob?
Yes.
Good kick. Wind just not bringing it back enough.
Went dead straight, that one. Yeah, he played very well last week, Dave. He worked in tandem with Justin Tate in the ruck, and it seemed to work pretty well and get him mobile around the ground, because he is very good at ground level too, as you just said, with his balance, and he does feed the ball out, and he's very, very strong. So it'll be interesting to see if they use him in that role today.
Yep.
So it's 1-2, playing 1-3. The kick in. Out towards half back on the outer side. Oh, good mark, was it? No, play on the call. Quick kick out of the pack was by Joseph and goes back and rips a Werribee Central's player off the tackle. Big pack around, and now the umpire will come in and bounce the ball.
Almost looked as though it was a mark that.
Yeah.
Didn't it? I don't know what happened there, but
Obviously hands on it just
didn't have
prior to him taking it. Stewart gets it down. Joseph can't take it with him. Morley gets a quick kick towards centre wing. Luddick and Green right next to him. That will be a good tussle by the looks of it this afternoon as well. And it's out of bounds on the outer side. It's 1-2-8 Anakie, Werribee 1-3-9. And thanks, Brett, we've been playing 15 and a half minutes in this first term. You can never get away from the old technician. Unbelievable. Hoffman gets a quick kick out of the pack, goes towards half forward. Gray attacks it, gets stripped off the footy just as he gets his kicked away by Gillett, goes towards centre wing. And the Centurion got a bit of time to set something up now. The big man gets it towards half forward. That's Stewart. It's 2-on-1. And backing himself there and getting it away.
Open forward line.
He's a very open forward line. Goes towards Cummins, and there's about 3 or 4 Centurions around him. And one of them getting the kick away was Kennedy. Goes now. Yeah, Morfoot. Ball kick off the boot by Tony Morfoot. Close to the boundary line. Mark handball. And now it will be out. That's good, isn't it? Mark handball.
Peak made him earn that handball. Took the skin off his shoulder if it's that hard over there.
He brought him down with his momentum, didn't he? It's using him as a break.
So it's going to be a boundary throw in on the other side, half forward flank. It's 1-3, playing 1-2. Werribee with the lead. As we said, blustery conditions here this afternoon at Anakie. Stewart against Gillett. And the Centurions now. Valicia gets a handball away towards centre wing. Hoffman's there. Also Slavinkas kick off the ground quickly towards centre half forward. And now it's a foot race. Slavinkas is there. He's got some support. Kennedy also. He's pushed off the footy by Chris Moore. A little bit doubtful, but it's play on now. Kennedy got the free kick and got it wide towards Morley, who's got support. And, he has a bounce, and then it's okay. He picks it up again. He's close to the boundary line. He has to screw it back in towards the 10-metre square. Lardick just pushes Green off just at the right time, uses his strength, and we'll have a shot for goal from straight in front.
Bit of experience there. He just got rid of young Kevin Green at the right moment. I think it's Kevin's second year of senior footy, where Luke's played a fair bit of senior football there, and just used his experience and just get him out of the way at the right time.
So Luke Luddick.
Just a little point there with Greening was standing on the side where the wind was going to blow the ball across the face of him, and Luke stood on the right side, and as he pushed him off, the ball's actually come across towards him. Yeah. Just a little thing there, as Bull said, for the older experienced blokes. Yeah. Just a little lesson there for Greening. Something to learn.
So Luddick from directly in front puts it through for his first goal, and Werribee's second. And they're 2-3-15. They lead Anakie 1-2-8. Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. And Lake's first goal.
Starting to get a bit dark here too, Jason. I don't know what's coming in behind.
Thanks for that, Ball.
We'll be right here, though.
Will we?
Yes.
It's not good, says cameraman technician who gets his jacket out, Brett Revere. 2 jackets, in fact. You
still got that one with the bird stains on it, Brett?
He's got every jacket under the sun. Back in the middle. Tate goes up early, gets his hand to it, but it goes to his opposite number. Stewart Joseph's there, takes a good mark, plays on now. Can play, goes wide towards Morfoot, and keeps him in front of him. Then handballs on. Right next to him was Kennedy. That's David. And it's out of bounds.
Young Morfoot had a good start to the season too. Ball, I watched him a couple of games. He was going on the right for a young fella.
Yeah, he gets puts himself in front and gets to the fall of the ball and got a little bit of toe about him. So he'll only get better as the year goes on too.
Yep.
Thrown back in. Joseph goes up. Can't get the tap down. Morley, handball to Hawke, standing start, gets his right foot kick away to centre wing. Luddick and Green. Luddick gets his both hands to it, close to the boundary line. He's got Kennedy in support.
That was in, I think.
Nearly kept it in. I've gone
to agree there.
I've gone deaf.
I was actually watching the TV at the time on the screen there. Let's just have a look at the replay. Oh yeah, that's in. Sure.
Good on you. God. Boundaries go in between wing and half forward for the Centrals. Free kick going to be plucked out, is it? No.
What, a blood rule or something?
No, I just think the umpire wants the Werribee Central's coaching staff to make sure they're in the box.
Mickey Foss is probably getting a bit excited up there. He's getting close to the ball.
So it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Tate and Stewart. Tate in front. Over the back now. Dabrowski can tap it towards Hoffman. Morley coming at him, or bump too, but Hoffman rides it well, then breaks the tackle, then wants to get the handball away and does so. Can't pick the ball up there was Walters. Still there with Cummins, handball. He's ripped off. Dabrowski's in. Stewart as well. Pack develops, and now it will be a ball up.
Just getting back to that boundary throw in there. Young Buffer Jolly's gone for the ruck throw in over the back of Tatey and Sean Stewart. The only problem doing that at half back is he's left his bloke standing out the back by himself, which is actually he's running down the ground on the ball and hasn't come up as far. But just a bit of a dangerous tactic there.
Stewart gets it down. Joseph Roves again goes to the right. Good kick too for distance. Pedretti. And getting back there, Kochevatkin goes in towards Bissett. It's around the back. Beck and also Gavin. Beck leads in the race. And close to the boundary line. Is he be able to keep it in? Yes, no. No out of bounds on the full, says the umpire. So couldn't quite keep it in.
2 out in the fulls to Roland Beck in the first quarter.
Yeah. And short kick, poor in the end. Edgar able to take the mark. Cummins couldn't take it. Left foot kick towards Hawks is all right. Takes it. They want to play on quickly the Centrals. Get something going. Handball out towards Musara. And he can run around the boundary. Takes a bounce. Takes on a player. Gets around him. That was Hoffman. Goes with the right boot towards half forward. Poor kick in the end. Jolly comes across and takes the mark. And switch play to turnover towards Hoffman, who has to stand his ground. He does and take the mark. Plays on quickly.
He'll get that taken off him, I think.
Yep.
And he will.
Just the spit rain here.
Just the shove, the push after he took the mark. And it will be a free kick coming back to Andrew Hawks for the Centurions. In fact, no, it's going to be Musara. So Musara now on centre wing on the outer side as the rain starts to come down. Goes towards centre half forward and Cunningham. He's got a couple against him. Jolly over the back. Cunningham. Slick handball towards Luddick. Can't pick it up. Slavinkas can. Good handball to Edgar. He's got Kennedy in support if he can get it to him. Dabrowski's over there as well. And he does well to kick it back into the field of play. And they can get out of it now. Anakie towards centre half back. Stewart's there though. Stands his ground and goes with the left boot long towards the goal square again. And getting back there and taking a good mark is Kelbert. And Simon Kelbert 10 metres out straight in front.
It's a pretty good mark there. He's read the wind well, and he's not all that tall. He's only 6 foot, but that's a good strong mark. I noticed his opponent, Reggie Dabrowski, he's cleared it out, and they've kicked it straight back into his opponent's margin. So
yeah, good stiff there. He showed his soccer skills, ex-soccer player, and he cleared it out all right.
Well, he made the effort to get back there and make a contest of it with the 2 Werribee guys running in towards the open goal. He's used his pace to get back there, cleared it out, and he's a bit stiff.
Yeah.
So Kelbert has put it through for a goal. And that is the third for Werribee Centrals. And they're 3-3-21. They lead Anakie 1-2-8. Buckley's Gaming Centre. First quarter scoreboard.
Young Calvert, he's played for the Western Jets. He's got a little bit behind him. He's also played for the GDFL Junior Interleague side. So he's got pretty good form coming up into the senior grade footy. He's had a couple of good games. As I said earlier, Jason, he had a good game last week. And talking to Mickey Foster, he had a good game the week before. So his form's been pretty good.
So his first goal and Werribee's third. Just a 13-point lead now to the visitors, Stewart. And Tate gets it down. Quick punch on there by Walters. Straight through the middle though, Luddick goes with the left boot towards centre half forward. Can't take the mark is Slavinkas. He needs some support. Luddick's there also, tries to tap it on the advantage. He got one high as well. And we'll take a free kick at centre half forward. And Luke Luddick, who's kicked 1 goal this afternoon. Got Cunningham at full forward. He was looking for that lead. He goes now. Kick into the 10 metre square. And up early Friday. Nowhere near the mark. Coming out Musara. Tried to get it back towards Edgar. And the Roos once again kick it off the ground. Goes towards Johnson. His handball backwards is okay to Hoffman. He gives him a bit of time. Can go towards Joseph. But it's chopped off by Hawks. And now Hoffman has to go at it again. Tries to get it out. And he's wrapped up. He got one high. And he will take a free kick, Craig Hoffman, when he does get up. He does so now. At half back. The coach of the Anakie side. He goes wide. It's going to be chopped off again.
Twice.
Yeah.
Skinner.
And now Skinner, who's on the ground. Gets it to Morley. He goes long towards Cunningham. And Friday against him. Cunningham brings it to the ground. Needs a rover. Got one. Luddy kick around the corner. And it's a pretty good kick off the boot. Musara is there. He's got 2 against him though. So he tries to kick it back towards Kennedy. He does well. Kennedy should finish it off and has.
Playing good footy.
And good play, Musara.
That's smart footy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Smart footy.
So Kennedy's first goal. And good play by Musara is Werribee's fourth. They're 4-3-27. Anakie 1-2-8.
Anakie just struggling to get across their half forward at the minute, or for the last 10 minutes of the game anyway. And Bull made a point early. If they get it down to like Daryl, yeah, sorry,
Pedretti
and Paul Pedretti, is it Mark Pedretti. If they get it down to them type of guys, they've got a chance down there, but they've got to get the ball down to give them the opportunity.
I think the way they've taken it in there too, Dave, they've sort of been straggled in there, and the ball's hit the ground, and the running plays of Werribee have been taking away at the fall of the ball.
Yep.
Where they haven't kicked the ball to a contest anywhere, have they?
Well, as I said before, they moved the ball quick, got it to Darryl, one-on-one contest. He took the mark, kicked the goal. Now he's going to do that pretty regular if they get into him in that fashion.
Yeah.
Back in the centre, Stewart and Tate. Tate went up early again. Stewart got it down towards Hawks. He's wrapped up by Hoffman, got the footy away, tapped on once again. And it's now at half forward for the Centurions. Musara, handball missed. Stewart couldn't take it either. Quick kick around the corner towards full forward. Coming out and backing himself is Jolly. And he'll be able to run away now and clear it. Goes towards the middle of the ground. It's okay. And he finds Walters. He plays on quickly, gives it to Gillett. Stewart's going to come to him, but he rides the bump. Could he get one high? Yes, he did. And Gillett in the middle of Anakie reserve now. Laterally to Hoffman. Takes the mark.
No sense in that.
Now the coach wants to set something up. He goes short.
We go on the dead side as
To
well.
Cummins.
Yep.
He goes long into the pocket. Bissett up against Mark. Bissett uses his strength. And there it is.
Exactly what we was just talking about.
Bissett now goes in towards Tate and the goals. And Gavin can't keep it in, so it's a behind. And they're 1-3-9, Anakie. Werribee 4-3-27, so it's 18 points the difference on the Buckley's Gaming Centre first quarter scoreboard. Close to siren time, 4-quarter time.
Anakie playing the zone defence here.
The kick in to come from Kennedy. Goes wide, looking for Stewart. Can't take the mark. Taps it on. Walters is over there. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can, and he's got support. Gillett's got it. Left foot kick is a good one, too, and he finds the coach, Hoffman.
He's had a bit of the ball, Hoffy, hasn't he?
Yep, he has, as has Gillett. Now Hoffman got Tate long. Goes in that direction, has to make up a bit of ground, though. Comes at it in front. Beck roved by Gavin. That's where they need him, and he's kicked it.
Kicked it?
No, it's been touched off the boot.
Yep.
Interesting to note there, Roland Beck's gone for the mark, and his opponent's picked the ball up after it's been spoiled and had a shot at goal.
So Anakie go to 1-4-10. And Werribee Central's 4-3-27. So it's 17 points of difference. Kennedy do the kicking in once again. And favours the outer side. Good kick too. Looks for Gray. And coming across with Stewart as well. Gillett at the bottom of the pack. Little handball. Only as far as Stewart. Slick hands too. And they can run away now through Skinner. Goes towards Slavinkas. Can't take the mark. Recovery was fantastic though. Could have handballed on the outside. Elects to go with a kick towards Cunningham. Great kick. Cunningham just can't quite grab it. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. And it will be out of bounds. Pretty good second effort there by Slavinkas after dropping the mark.
Yeah, he's got a bit of toe, hasn't he?
Very quick on his feet, wasn't he, Ben?
Interested, I was just wondering on the kick out there in his own defence, I was wondering if Anakie crowded the other side, forced Werribee to kick out this side and try and force them to an error on the attacking side of the ground. I was just wondering how that'd go there, just having a look at it, but obviously they never done it.
Yeah, well, that's their plan, Werribee, isn't it? He's banged it out there every time they've, a couple of times they've scored points, Anakie, and that could be a good move there, just to see if they'd change the direction of play and see what happens.
Bouncy throw in more. Down towards Hoffman, who shepherds well. Handball towards Walters. They all stand in the tackles. Can't pick the footy up. Now Hoffman can. Threw it out in the end. Goes towards Musara. And a big pack around it. The umpire lets it go. Now he finds a free kick for a high tackle.
Bit of toe poking in there.
And Justin Morley with it.
Wasn't there?
Reggie's not in there, he's soccer skills.
Yeah, he's running away from it.
So it's Justin Morley with the footy. About 50 metres out from goal. He looks for a short pass, and it's okay. Edgar.
Good play this, Robbie Edgar. I reckon he's very underrated. He's always there for him in the bottom of the packs, and what I've seen of him when they've played against Anakie, he's always featured up in their first 4 or 5 best players for sure.
He missed last week's game with a wedding. He's back in the side, yep. He goes into the 10-metre square, big pack. Moore taps it away in front. Kick off the ground again, and it goes towards Dabrowski. He can go short towards Moore foot, and he's got Kennedy right next to him, but he does well. Gets the handball away to Walters. He's got Gavin on a lead, and Pedretti long. He goes in the direction of Pedretti and Tate. It's over their heads. Keeps running on. Kochevatkin. Cummins comes at it as well. Does well. Attacks the footy. Can go around the corner to Pedretti and Tate. They can run on. Tate here. He should have given it to him, but can he kick the goal? No.
Both left footers too in that situation.
Would have been a handy one before quarter time too.
That was a good call there, I think, Jason. Young Gavin, he did attack that ball pretty hard. He wanted it, didn't he? He just wanted it and then sidestepped a few blokes and then looked at what he's going to do. Give it probably to the right option, and Tate just didn't probably finish off. Could have flicked out the handball, but his teammate there opted to run in and shepherd him to give him the space to have a shot.
So it's 1-5-11 Anakie, Werribee Central's 4-3-27. This Gaming Centre bringing us the first term of the GDFL Match of the Day, round 7, between the Roos and the Centrals. And David Kennedy just having a bit of trouble getting the footy back. So we always do here. I've seen many lost in trees and over the back paddocks.
Oh, Meredith, mate. St Leonard's just had to get him out of the water.
Yeah.
Kennedy kicks it into Hawks. He goes on, kicks it wide towards Kochevatkin and the boundary line. He tries to tap it on, and it's out of bounds now. On the outer side, half-forward flank with the Roos attacking. If they can just get a quick goal, they would still be in the contest. They're only 16 points out of it now. Thrown in. Gillett pushes Stewart away.
They've made that change now.
Gillett's on the ball. Hawley. Slick handball to the big man who runs away. Then he handballs onto Kennedy. He goes long towards full forward. Cunningham. Friday judges it better. Can't take the mark. Luddig off the back of the pack. Keeps it in front of him. Then handballs it onto Slavinkas. Kicks around the corner. Can't kick it around far enough. And he's second behind. 4-4-28 Werribee. Anakie 1-5-11. Pretty slick play through half forward there by the boys.
Luke Luddig, he never ceases to amaze me with his intelligence. He's just smart all the time.
Yeah.
You know, he just knows when blokes around him. His awareness is good. He usually picks his best option and he gets himself in the right position all the time.
Jolly kicks in, out wide looking for more foot. 3 against 2. But Felicia and also Skinner do well for the Centrals, and they see it over the boundary line at half forward. So it will be a throw in. Now Gillett on the ball against Stewart. Stewart's there, and it is siren time. And at quarter time, it is Anakie 1-5-11, and they trail Werribee Central's 4-4-28 in that first term. The goal kickers for Werribee Central's are singles to Luke Luddig, Michael Kennedy, Simon Kelbert, and Mick Cunningham, while for Anakie, the one goal was kicked by Daryl Bissett. So they had a number of opportunities, the Roos, to put goals on the board. They couldn't do so. And at quarter time, they trail 4-4-28. And that's Werribee, Anakie 1-5-11. So 17 points difference. We'll be back with a bit of a wrap-up.